We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hello. How's everybody doing out there? Thank you for joining me for another Talking Shit Live, the show that got it all started with the live streaming Mustang and performance and racing content anywhere on YouTube, really. Like, if you try to get any other YouTuber to talk to you and try to entertain you for at least an hour and a half, it's usually not a good look. A lot of them tried, but this channel, for some reason, attracts at least a couple of hundred guys at one time, and it seems to be a really good time. We have a good group of guys, a bunch of good moderators here, a bunch of good fans, people like Trustworthy make the show possible, and the sponsors do a great job of keeping this going. That's right! The sponsors, people like PMAS, that's right, who actually make part for Mustangs. Auto Solutions, who works on Mustangs and actually provides parts for Mustangs. Let me make them nice and big, because on Instagram, some guy was like, what do you mean, Alex? You have sponsors on the show? I'm like, not HelloFresh, you stupid motherfucker. So we got PMAS, Auto Solutions, The Parts Farm, Oh My God Cookies. They give you free cookies. You have to buy nothing. They give you free cookies. And Caliber Transmission, Mustang Transmission Guru 3160, D4 MT82s, regular MT82s, T56s, TR6060s, that's the dude. And DNA High Performance, they sell Mustang parts. Ain't that some weird shit how that works? Unbelievable. Love the fact that the sponsors keep the light on, which when I mean keep the light on, I mean the ring light. So yeah, I want to give you guys a shout out because DNA High Performance, Auto Solution, The Parts Farm, PMAS, Oh My God Cookies, all do a great job at providing a brother a little dough so we can talk about them, highlight their little banner on the channel, and we'll have a good time. So today we're going to talk about who do you trust to get you Mustang specific information. There are so many bullshit forums that are run by people that sell you product. Nobody actually knows anything that tuners don't tell them. Most of the guys that sell you parts, most of the guys that give you information, most of the guys that go out there and are the gatekeepers to Mustang information have skin in the game, and they're salespeople first. So who do you trust to get you proper information on Mustang stuff? Who is noteworthy, who is actually out there racing and winning, and actually going out there and not really looking to make a buck all the time. I literally saved a couple of people today a couple of $100 because I said, look, you don't have to buy injectors now, you don't have to buy a manifold now, chill out with your combo, and when you're ready to go boost, you pay the $500 on top just to get your car boosted, and you're good to go. You don't have to do the 250, the 100, the maybe another 250 for cams, and then 500 on top of all of that. Do it all once, 500, and you should be good to go. Let's say hi to the people here. We'll talk about who do you guys trust and who do you go to actually find Mustang or just any racing content or any performance content that is trustworthy. Coyote Fury, Diego Flores, Douche did it. Shitbox Fox, Clip Clap the Horse, JD Swag the Mod, Gallo Bravo, TRD Ricky, Annie Black Betty, CO Jones, Bagged Tacoma, Harley, Taquache Mode, Rican 50, Mendoza's Coyote, Clean 93 GT, Anthony I'm Hung So Low, Aggressively Average, Derva Markowski, D-Rock Fox, Rich 50, Payaso Racing, D-Rock Fox again, Monty 540, Denzel, Jason, 690 West, let's go, made it for the live, that's right, let's go is right. Come on, we gotta keep it going here. Chris Anderson, Izzy R, Tarul Viate, Racing, yeah! Annie Black Betty, Diego A, Harley again, Gregory Utvich, let's go all the way down, because I think Turviate finally got up and had some milk, and he's going to do a little welding, stick welding on a cage before he goes into Waffle House. C. Evans, OEM Spec, Unreal SVT, 305 F-150. By the way, even though this wasn't in the 305, did you see Travis Pastrana in the Gymkhana in Fort Lauderdale? I love an actually talented driver going somewhere and doing cool shit, not Ken Block, because Ken Block farts on shoes and crashes every car you give him. Travis Pastrana is one of those guys that's just super talented in many different motorsports, motocross, stadium shit, Supercross. He does the Nitro Circus stuff. He did NASCAR for a bit. He does Rallycross. The dude's so fucking legit. KK Cobra Abdullah. Neil, half bolted on, slow and slow. Ben Dover said, we outside. Jasso Izzy R. Zach Anderson says, Turvey, Admiral Peck, FLKA Cupcake, and Joe Byron are always my go-to sources. Jason Joe Jackson, Hart Kurt, Neil, and Mendoza's. Okay, so who do we actually go to? Like, you either have a shop that you trust. Let's say you live in the St. Louis area. Well, you got Bob Monk's. And you also have, oh my God, what is the name of that shop? Jesus, I'm sorry. What's the name of that shop up there that Hot Sauce GT350 goes to? I haven't heard from them in a long time. That's why it's just eluding me. We also have shops like Power by the Hour. So if you call them, you know everything about Coyote Swap stuff. They're like the experts on Coyote Swap stuff. Let me see if you guys can actually tell me who I'm missing. I forget the name of the shop over in the St. Louis area. Michael Bebis works there. Fuck, I forget. It's just passing me up. Evolution Performance. You got guys like Midnight Performance in Houston. You got the guy Aldo. Like in Houston, there's 3 legit shops that you can go to, and they're not gonna fuck you over. Okay, they're probably gonna take care of you, and that's Mexico Racing League, Aldo, and Midnight, and they're all within, I don't know, 40 minutes of each other. So typically when you wake up in the morning and you want to get some knowledge dropped on you, you typically go to where? I'd love to know where you guys go to. Obviously, it's a little difficult for me because I am sort of on the front lines of this stuff. We have to kind of learn these vehicles from the get. Shops work with us to vet the file. And then with their mechanical know-how and our tuning know-how, well, we have a collective pool of information that not many others have. And then it bleeds down to the people that provide the parts, right? But then what happens? People that provide the parts start thinking that they actually know stuff and that are super knowledgeable. No offense. And then they start saying some stuff that probably isn't 100% accurate. And then alliances form and stuff like that. And then you're like, I see what's happening. Okay. So the only time I pay attention to anyone in that realm is when negative stuff is talked about us in that particular sphere. And if anyone is out there literally giving you misinformation about products and why we can or cannot tune them, that's when I start going, okay, but who's actually listening? Like, who is actually listening? Because some people get salty out there and start steering their customers to someone else for, let's just say, financial gain, as opposed to, we're going to get you to the finish line the best way possible. Okay, so typically, let's say you're a shop and you're affiliated with a tuner or parts companies. Well, let's just say you value your profits above all else. Well, typically what happens is who you recommend and tuners you recommend and parts you recommend are skewed by the margin. We've seen it with cold air intakes. We've seen it with transmission stuff. We've seen it with power adders. We've seen it with everything where as long as I have the biggest margin, that's the product I'm going to push. So as a customer, you have to weed through all of the bullshit and figure out who is telling me the truth. And the problem is it's real difficult as a customer that is outside looking in to understand who is looking out for you the most. Now, as a tuner, my job is to make sure your car runs the best. So if you were to come to me with a clean slate, absolute clean slate, and you had a set goal in mind, whether it be horsepower, whether it would be an ET, my job is to get you to the finish line the best way possible. Now, if you have done all your research and heard stuff from people that sell parts and heard all this stuff, and you have a collective general idea pulled from this forum, this guy, that guy, this shop, and then you ask me, and I basically stomp on half of the ideas that you have, you got to look at it from my point of view. My job is not to sell you a goddamn thing. right? My job is to get you to the finish line the best way possible. Alex, I want to run 8s. What's your budget? $15,000. Gen 2 Mustang, axles, drive shaft, twin turbo, or a 2650, stall converter, fuel system, ID 1300s, or FIC 1440s. We're going to try to make about 1,000 wheel and get the car down to 3,500 pounds. That's it. Like, that is it. There is no magic. There is no cheat code. It's typically going to take about 1,000 wheel, and I'm going to say, you want turbos or you want a supercharger? Well, okay. Well, look, we can get you there. My job is not to sit here and try to figure you out. My job is not to sit here and try to sell you anything. My job is to get you to the finish line. And a lot of people, I think, get a little confused and start saying stuff like, well, the guy I was buying the parts from is saying completely crazy shit. He's saying I need this valve body, this clutch pack, this and this and that. And that you have to tune it differently. And I simply say this. Why don't I have to do that with any other transmission? Why, when I get a power by the hour 6R80 in a car, a midnight 6R80 in a car, a finish line performance 6R80 in a car, the way we've been tuning it since I've known, works fine. And then with 10R80, same thing. Why is it when someone like Emmanuel can build you a 7-second capable 10R80 and nothing special has to change or happen? And then all of a sudden you start hearing from other people that you have to totally redo stuff because, you know, it's not acting like it should. And it's real simple. You have to look at it from both people's point of view. One of them is trying to make money. The other one is trying to get you to run a number. So you can look at it whichever way you want. You can go out there and say, Alex is feeding me a line of shit. That's fine. But at the end of the day, I'm not selling you anything. You've come to me for the tuning. You've come to our company, Lund Racing, for the tuning. So my job is to guide you there the best as possible. But unfortunately, we have to battle the noise out there because a lot of people are in it for the margin. And that's okay. That's fine. But as long as you guys know that going in, you're good. But the problem is a lot of guys in the game are naive. They have some money and they're going to listen to anyone they think is an authority on this. I'm not going to tell you who to listen to. I'm going to tell you that if you come to me, I'm going to give you a set of variables and parts that we know work since the beginning of time. And if that differs from someone you trust to give you information, and if it's a completely different setup, then you have to start looking at it from who is looking to make more money on this situation, the tuner or the people providing the parts and supposed advice. So that's the hard part. And I wonder where the general customer gets his information. And that's why I asked that question. Let me get some of these questions in because you guys get mad at me if I don't get to the paid question. For Coyote Tuning Info, it's Alejandro Flores. I appreciate that very much. Danny built in Atlanta. Danny Jimenez is legit. And in the last couple of days, Evan Smith, Certified Performance, Danny Jimenez, D&G Auto, all these little shops are so fucking busy. And that's all that comes across my shit. I've done more cars for Certified Performance than I've done anybody else. HPJ, that's the shop St. Louis. Like if you go to HPJ, they're generally going to be on top of shit. On top. They're not going to sell you unnecessary bullshit. What do you want to run? 8s? Here's the combo. Here's the stuff. Get after it. So I just forgot their name for a little bit. And then we got Radioactive Fabrication says, channel support. Thank you for all the free info you give out here. All the people need to do is listen and make educated decisions. I'm coming in for my emoji, bitcho, says Jason. I get my info from you in Facebook groups. My Boss 302 group is pretty accurate. Even in my Coyote group, we talk to people out of Going, Max, NA. We have a few legitimate mechanics in Michigan we can refer you to, says DNA High Performance. Juan Resendez says PK Auto. C&D Auto says Zach. Dropping in a like. I only trust Slander 13 to pipe my turbos for my car. Wow. Alex, you've had issues on getting the Fairmont worked on, right? Says Rex. I'm having the same issue with my Cobra. The shop has had the car for 11 months. And as of today, turbo and Holly EFI, everything paid for. So this is what you do, Rex. And I implore you guys to do this. Go get your car. Go get your car. It's your car. Make a house call. Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Hey, I just kind of checking in on the progress. Oh, well, we've had the... Oh, it's all good. I got a tow truck. Wait, what? I got a tow truck. You haven't worked on my car. You haven't touched my car. I'm getting my car. If I'm going to have this car be storage, I'm going to store it somewhere I can see it every day. If my car is in your shop, it better be getting worked on. This weird notion that shops just keep your shit in the back until they're ready, y'all can suck my dick with that bullshit. I worked at a shop and I saw how that game works. And it's just holding someone's car hostage to then eventually hold it over their head when you need some money. So stop it. I know exactly how the game works. I've been at that end of the game. So go get your car. And all of a sudden, people go, hey, bro, so, are we good? Are we good? Yeah, we're good. Why? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Everything kind of was weird when you picked up your car that you own that I had at my property that I didn't work on. Oh, everything is good. Gee, it's all good. And I have had issues having shop want to work, period. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I got money. I have money. And I've called shops after shop. I'm going to call TIG Vision because I didn't think that they do that kind of work anymore, meaning front half, back half. They're right in my backyard. But they're super high quality, and the Fairmont to me is not that car. The Fairmont to me is not that car.
You're
okay?
not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
It's a okay car. And in my opinion, TIG Vision works on stuff that is super nice. But if I drop the car off and say, look, I want a front half and I want a back half to fit a bit beefier tire back there and general good cage that's good for $850, it's probably going to be $11,000 or $12,000, maybe more. And I'm like, ooh, okay. But let's just say I want to just front half the car. I think they got me, but I haven't called them because I don't think my car is up to par with the stuff they work on. But I'm going to have to call them because they're local, legit. So I don't know. I would go pick up your car if I was you. I would literally go pick up your car. Alex, too many customers make the tragic statement, I am not in a rush. We won't touch the car till all the parts come in and we bang it out. Fast turnaround and happy customers. Exactly. So for a while, I've worked at a couple of shops that did this. And I felt terrible that my job was to have the cars in the back. And whenever the shop needed money, like money, oh my God, we need money. Well, we always need money. Why aren't we working on these cars? Well, what happens is the shop gets greedy. The shop starts saying, how we can make the most amount of money for minimal amount of work, or we will work on the cars that have the highest amount of money possible or upcharge them into Bolivian. Do I have that here? I do have Bolivian here.
Where do you go from here, Mike?
I don't know, man. I might get fade into Bolivian, you know what I mean? I don't have nowhere to go and nothing to do, you know what I mean? I just go fly my pigeons on the roof in New York.
So what would happen is it's basically inventory. I have work. I got your El Camino here. I got your Monte Carlo here. I got your Cutlass here. Hey, we're going to send your Cutlass out to get the interior done. That'll be $8,000. Can we hit your card? And I was like, why didn't we just work on that car nonstop until it's finished? Because that's just not how the game is won. You have to meet payroll. You have to make money. You have to have the highest amount of yielding, the highest earning job put in front. So I said to myself, there's no money in this stuff unless you fuck people. And it's the truth. Alex, not a Coyote owner, but your thoughts on Cletus F-150 that has me considering building one. If you have not been a part of this channel talking about F-150 stuff, I love you. We have talked about F-150 stuff nonstop 2 years before Cletus even looked at Coyote stuff. Cletus F-150 is now making guys realize that you can make power with an F-150. Then again, wherever you're getting your information or whatever you're watching for channel content is failing you, because fast Coyote F-150s running 8s is 3 or 4 years ago. That is old news, man. But if you want to build one, build an 18 and under one. Now, 21 F-150 is now able to be tuned by guys that use SCT. We don't fuck with SCT yet. I don't know if anything's going to happen with that, so don't even ask this channel if we fucks with SCT. We don't. They all of a sudden got cold feet when the EPA simply knocked on our door. Not doing anything wrong, not accused of anything, nothing. SCT bounced. So all of a sudden, all customers that had an SCT X4 were left high and dry, not by us, by that company. So if you got issues with that, hit them up, not us. When is the ESS 60-130 update coming out? Interested in showing that people on video. So it's probably going to be a 650 or a 640 because it makes 795 wheel. But Carter's TV, if you saw the video, I'm running out of fuel system. I'm probably not going to go watt on the street knowing that I need a fuel system on that car. Public service announcement. I went back and forth with Lund Racing support 4 times in 20 minutes. Devin and Nardi are on the money. I would rather work the high ticket jobs than a spark plug change. Okay, Killfoot. But let's say you can get a spark plug change in and out in 15 minutes. You got paid. See, I would do that all the time. There were times where an alternator change led to a visual inspection of the tie rods. And I tell the customer, look, I'm going to show you tie rods are fucked. So check it out. And they're like, okay, switch them. So the alternator job became a tie rod job, became a brake job. And it didn't take more than an hour or two. Meanwhile, you're still fabricating wheel tubs for the Chevelle. Meanwhile, you're still building the engine for this and that. And I'm like, there's no money coming in. Those little jobs can be quick, done, in and out. But the problem is the culture of modern shops aren't like that anymore. They want you to take in a Rubicon and do a Hellcat swap and take 5,000 down, let it sit in the back, right? And then you run out of the money because the 5,000 paid for maybe 3 or 4 things. Then you hit them up for some more money. Bro, that game sucks. So if you have a car that's been in a shop for more than 3 weeks, go get it. Say, I'm ready to drop this car off when you're ready to work on it. Evil Twin 350. Hey Alex, thanks for tuning my Whippled GT 350. All is good and the Ghost Cam tune chops bad as hell. Thanks for all your help. Yeah, so Junior has done really well with the Ghost Cam stuff. I think now that we have Devin on board, Devin is such a great addition to the show. He's been on the ball, fast learner, understands Coyote, understands combinations, understands the system, and he saw real quick how retarded most of you are, but loved the fact that he's able to go in there, give Nardi a break, and that in turn gives Junior a break, and Junior has the time to take care of the website, take care of the base files, make more files, and we're getting crispier and crispier files based on our logs, our adjustments, and the time allowed for him to work on the calibrations. 440 views and only 66 likes. Slap the like button if you don't. Nick Rogers gave me $20. Thank you very much. I appreciate any kind of donation. Again, guys, you don't have to give me $20 or $10 or whatever. The best thing you could do for a guy like me is become a channel member. You have access for 30 videos. You have access to the emojis. I know it might be dumb. You have access to members only chats, members only videos. So you have access to something for as little as like $5. But I appreciate the on the chat money. Appreciate that very much. I wish places would treat the job the same, but that's too much to ask for. This is my first winter to use the 85. What's the best way to winterize the car? Drain the fuel or fuel stabilizer? Real simple. Drain the fuel, put pump gas in it. Real easy. Torque and B Saw says, that's why when you go to most Quicklime Monroe mufflers, they rotate toes for free oil change looking for extra work. Absolutely. Do I need a retune after changing to a different diff? From 373 to 315, getting a lot of rev hang in between gears. Yes, any Black Betty, it's probably a good idea to hit us up if you change your gear ratio that drastically. If you go from 315 to a 331, not so much. 355 to a 373, not so much. But when you go through a 315 to a 373, absolutely. My car has been at the shop for about a week and a half, still being diagnosed for some electrical issue. Shop is super reputable, guys, so the wait isn't bad. No, that's good. If they're at least diagnosing and trying to figure stuff out as they go, that's different because the shop also can't charge you an actual hourly rate for electrical diagnosis. Because if that was the case, your bill would be $800 for a job that took all day. And you're not going to pay $100 for them to trace back a wire that has, showing, the wire is showing off, the plastic came off and it's touching on the body and grounding out or doing something weird somewhere. So they go in between jobs, do this, try that, do this, try that, to keep your bill the lowest as possible. That I understand. Thank you, Evan Smith, says Lund Rules. Hard Hat Eugene says, channel support. Also love hearing you shout out Certified Performance. They build all the fast coyotes around Nashville, and they're great guys. Don't race any of the boosted cars that come out of that shop or street. I'm telling you guys, every car, and the best thing about Certified Performance, and look, I don't play favorites. I just love shops that have owners or techs that are on the fucking money. I had them say, short trims went flat up top. Can you take a look? I'm like, this motherfucker makes my job easy. Yep, you're right. Short trims went flat up top. How much boost are you giving it? I don't know. Well, it says 2.6 low. That's a hunk of boost. Oh, okay, shit. Let me get a boost gauge on this bitch, and then we'll fuck with the boost controller. Bada bing, bada boom. He knows the deal. DNA, the little jobs keep the lights on, easy money in and out. They need different caliber mechanics on the payroll. Hey, some guy with a whole bunch of letters became a member. Thank you very much. Are you able to tune the 2023 Transit V6 Eco? No, we don't tune anything that isn't performance oriented as of now. Explorer ST, all F-150s, all GT500s, all Mustang, Coyote and up, and on select applications, 07 to 10 also, that Spanish oak ECU, and then the Copperhead 11 and up. My favorite GT500 is still a 2012 373s performance pack. That's still my favorite. The one I have is awesome. I drove it to lunch the other day and I got so many compliments on it. It looks great, it sounds great, it feels great, it's doing really good. Now I got some stuff coming for the GT500, guys. Trust me, the content is coming for that guy. I'm gonna put the Whipple back on it because Whipple provided me bigger pulleys to lower the boost, to see if IATs are more manageable and we still make 1100 horsepower. That's the goal with that blower. 1100 horsepower at about 25 pounds of boost as opposed to 29 because it has a 3.5-inch pulley right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is put a 4-inch pulley on it. See how much boost that makes. If it makes too much, put a 3.75 pulley on it. And if I want to slow it way the fuck down, they provided a 4.25 pulley. Thank you very much. Bondo Bird and Whipple. My 88 was in the driveline shop for 6 months to get rebearinged in a 2020. That was super frustrating. Ashton says to DNA, you got the hookup on Gen 3 short blocks? I'm going to be looking out here soon. I'm in Auburn Hills. Can I get the cookies set? I don't even know if they're here. Like, I didn't see Melissa or EPA here, so I don't know what's going on today. To be honest, I haven't heard anything. I have a Roush blower car. Yeah, I know, heat soap. I drive it as a fun daily, so I'm not concerned with the dyno numbers quarter mile times. Is there drivability gains to be had with the tune? No. I'm going to be honest with you. No. And if you're talking about a Gen 3 Roush, we don't fuck with it anyway. Why? It's a speed density calibration. So we'd have to have one in person and hammer it the fuck out to maybe tune 2 cars, 3 cars a month. To have it, because what does it take to tune a car like that from scratch? Oh, Melissa's here. So what are we doing today? Are we doing a giveaway, Melissa? What's going on? Let me know. So what do we have to do to vet a file? Well, in order to vet a file, we need to have it from scratch. That takes like over a week. And even then, there's revisions. So how much do people think they should pay for that kind of treatment? Like, I know a lot of guys that go to the dyno and they go, well, I'm going to get a custom dyno tune. Guys, did you know that when you go to a dyno, you're not getting anything from scratch? You're getting a vetted file, regardless if it's a local tuner or me or VMP or anybody else. You're getting a file that we know already works. And then we adjust from there. Because to dial in the torque table, to tune it with your strategy, your specific as-built strategy, specific, and do torque tables, all the cam tables, that takes 1 week. Not a $650 dyno tune that takes 2 hours. That is a vetted file that they plop in. So I love hearing that people say, well, Lund only wants to sell you canned tunes. Hey, asshole. If you want me to tune your shit from scratch, that's 1 week, son. Not 2 hours. No tuner can do all of the torque table dialing in, cam stuff dialing in, spark table. I'm saying from scratch. in 2 hours in a $650 dyno session. They're blowing smoke up your ass. Short terms, Andrew Martinez says short terms were high at Watt before the new pump. After the new pump, it's lower, but still around 15. Is that okay? Still running the first revision Dakota sent me when he said it was solid. If he said it was solid and short terms are 25, I don't think he said it was solid. So we need to, and we had that happen today. So I am on the ESS forum on Facebook. And the only reason I'm there is because Brevin has been really nice and he's provided me a blower. And I feel like I owe him a lot. But he doesn't think so. He thinks that the product sells itself. I am just verifying with everyone like Dustin Stenar and Valley Speed already know that the ESS G3X is badass for stock engine Coyotes. If you want to get after it, and you're okay blowing it up eventually and maybe building the motor, the G4 is your huckleberry. But today on the ESS forum, a guy with a G2 120mm pulley Gen 2 car made 540. And in the ticket system, it stated, Brandon said, you're getting false knock somewhere. So we have to remedy that issue. Not only was he on 91 octane and a 120mm pulley, he is getting false knock on top of all of that. So the car didn't make as much power as he thought. He thought it should have made 600. We agree. It should have made 600 if you had good octane and you didn't have knock sensor intrusion. But in the forum, it said, my tuner said it's all good. Then I went, wait a minute. I went to Brandon's ticket, and I hate doing that because I really don't like double checking Lund Racing's work. They know what the fuck they're doing, but I wanted to see if the customer was telling the truth. And no, nothing against the customer. But when I went to the forum, to the ticket system, Brandon very clearly said, your car's picking up false knock. Then I went back to the thread, and he then later stated, yeah, he said it's picking up false knock. I went, okay, but what happens? People gloss over the thread, and they see the part where he said, the tuner said I'm good. And then they go, it doesn't make any power. That Lund doesn't give a fuck. Read the whole thread, and I have the other side of the conversation. So I have the whole picture. And I notified certain people that in that thread, and hopefully they got squared away. Dustin Tenar says, I just watched the latest ESS video, and it was great. Don't leave this open. Stuff like wiring can get sucked in. Spot on. So again, guys, if you're... yes, B2 Riviate, I do have long tubes for the Fox. But I'm talking to Ultimate Header. And if Ultimate Header does get me a set of small block Ford long tubes for Fox, I'll be giving away the 351 swap headers that I picked up from one of the customers here. Is Alex keeping his F-150 or selling it still? Look, ESS is supposed to be providing a G4 kit, so I'm going to wait to see what happens with that. If for whatever reason there's a real big delay, I'd love to sell that truck because that truck never gets driven. Literally never gets driven. Short terms are at 15 now after the pump. Dakota said it was solid a year ago. I would still hit up Dakota and say, look, I installed the new pump. Short terms are a little weird, but smoke check your car. I had a customer that had a 75 shot on his car, which we later upped to 150. And the car was done, tuned, have a great day. 2 days later, hey, my car is acting fucked up. And I'm like, we gave you the seal of approval. You should be good to go. So he sends me a log, and I go, check your cold air. Sure enough, the cold air fell off. The cold air straight fell the fuck, couplers loose. He's like, oh my God. So guys, once in a while, open your hood, check your couplers, check your lines, check your vacuum hoses, check your catch cans. Shit can come loose. Alex, why do people look at me like I had 3 heads when I tell them you shouldn't need to run a BAP on an aftermarket fuel pump? Meanwhile, they're running E85 through LU47s on a centrifugal car. You're right, because if the pump manufacturer, let's say Deechworks, let's say they sell you a Deechworks 400 and they tell you it flows, 400 liters per hour, then theoretically, why do you need a boosted pump? It's already putting out supposedly great fuel supply. If a boosted pump is fixing an issue that even the aftermarket pump is showing, then there's an issue with the pump. So there are people out there that are running boosted LU47, E85, low pump BAP shit on low boost. And that's fine. I know for a fact your fuel pressure is dropping like a rock. Bad. Maybe the DI is helping you a little bit. Maybe it's saving you from totally burning it up. But don't get it twisted. You are slowly killing that car. You are slowly killing that car if you're running E85, LU47, D-Works 400, and a BAP. Guaranteed. I tried watching Cletus' channel, and I don't understand how people enjoy that kind of content. Look, I've come to the conclusion, and almost installed on the G4, waiting on some parts. Awesome Valley 10-speed. Valley 10-speed's car is going to fucking fly. And you know what I did? I gave him his old tune. Watch that bitch do exactly what it's supposed to do. I think people that watch his channel, Garrett's channel, aren't car people. You know what I mean? There are car guys that watch just in case he does go racing. But I don't think generally they're car people. I think they're fans of a character. And he has done a really good job of capturing that dynamic. Now, you're starting to see those people grow up a little bit. You're starting to see people age out of that kind of content and they gravitate towards something else, like Steve Morris, like Engineering Explained, like Aldo's, Midnights, channels that have legitimate stuff. I'm not saying he's not a legitimate racer. He can race. But when it comes to the content, it's serious stuff. It's not, the stuff he does for the look, for the appearance, and for the character. When you floor it and short shift, why do the tires spin? When you floor it and short shift, why do the tires spin? Who needs 2-inch primaries? So you'd be surprised, F-150, S550, on Coyote, no one really does. But on LS stuff, like the ports on an aftermarket head on a ZR1, you could put a 2-inch primary on that motherfucker. I could use a 2-inch primary on my GT500 because it's a 5.8. And it really does pick up some power from 1 7/8 to 2-inch primary headers. But Coyote, typically no. I only watch to see him brake, skit, and wall ride. Okay. I skip right past Cletus Fit. It pops up on my recommended. I mean, who's going to put 1 5/8 headers on a 408 engine? No, it's 1 3/4. Everything in that realm is 1 3/4. Most people also forget that pumps are rated at around 40 psi for flow. Coyotes are roughly 58 psi. Flow drops to higher pressure on fuel pumps. Compound with that with 1.1 regulator, and the pump can't keep up. Durva Markowski, not just that, the RPM. See, pumps have a flow rating, but the RPM really does matter. A lot of people think, well, it flowed. Like I've seen a lot of people take the Fox body mentality and move it over to Coyote. Unbeknownst to them, you have another 2,000 RPMs of revving on a Coyote than you do on a Fox body. And the volumetric efficiency on a Coyote is over 100%. So you're gonna, you can't cross-pollinate the stuff that you used to do with Fox bodies and have it merge over to Coyote. That's why a lot of these, exactly, I think it's a comedy channel. It's just a character channel. No one really goes there to learn anything, in my opinion. They go there to get entertained, and he does a really good job at it. Very few benefit from 2-inch primaries on your LS. Look, if the guys that run big, badass LS shit, LS9 stuff, tell me to get 2-inch primaries, I'm getting 2-inch primaries. I have 2-inch cooks on mine, exactly. Race Proven Motorsports puts 2-inch ARH on almost everything LSLT stuff, and RPM is legit. Exactly. That's what I mean. And nothing against Bring Your Wood Screws. And by the way, hopefully he's okay. He recently had an accident. Hopefully he's okay. But typically, if a shop like True Auto Solution, RPM, Greg Kong, legit shops that are known in the LS world, they put 2-inch primaries on their shit, I'm in. You won't see Steve Morris fill an engine with diesel fuel instead of oil. Says Diego, hey, I want the cookie, Moko. I tried to watch the Skittle Little Derp, and maybe it's just me, but Airhead Act is cringe. I'm with you. I don't care. The only time I mention him is when he says Coyote stuff surprises him, or he tries to make it news that something we knew 10 years ago, he's like just finding out. And that's the only time I criticize the dude. Obviously he has an act and he has a bunch of fucking douchebags that follow him. Cool. But his fans are fucking gay as fuck. Like, it's not even close. And this is how the fans say that I'm hating on Cletus. No. I'm hating on you, the fan. I don't hate on him. He's got money, good. And that's what the fans go. They go, well, he's making money. And I'm like, I'm talking about you, not him. I'm talking about you, where you would love to cup his asshole and smell his farts. You're the sycophant. You're the weirdo. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. I don't care. I have a 2-inch primary. Is there a pill or something like that? Got my Lund Racing engaged today. You think an NA2 is worth it on my 350 or wait? Hopefully do the G3X and long tubes. It's summer. Honestly, I think a tune absolutely wakes up a GT350. The added octane logic, the fact that you can get a ghost cam tune and E85 tuning, E85 wakes up. A Voodoo is 12-to-1 compression, 8,200, 8,300 RPM capable. You're going to want to have the most octane possible on that car. I am blown away when a Voodoo owner has 91 octane and that's all he uses. Yikes, I'm glad I'm not 25 and don't have a 3-valve anymore. I do miss my 3-valve. Look at this chat. First question of the night was about where you get your info from. Then guys jump in and unload on some bullshit, which is normal. Are you new here, Matt Oliver? Are you new here? Shit. You're a Cletus hater, plain and simple. No, I'm a Cletus fan hater. His stuff is cringe shit. I don't like him. I don't like Adam LZ. I don't like Street Speed. I don't like Speed Phenom. I don't like Mustang Lifestyle. I don't like Stang Mode. To actively hate on a guy? No, their fans are fucking weird. And judging by your stupid screen name, you're probably one of his fans. Give the guy the dumbest questions or statement on some cookies, right? Can we get an old school YOLO rant on Cletus fans? No. See, again, this guy's not a fan. KKK? Jesus. KK Cobra is not a fan because he knows that shit would never happen. Like, ever. He's one of those casual guys. Inch and 7/8 to 2-inch minimal gain is what I meant. Okay, bring your wood screws. And I don't mean to sound like a dick, but this is where I start questioning your judgment. When you installed 2-inch primaries on your car from inch and 7/8, how much in terms of horsepower gains did you see? If the answer is, I haven't put on 2-inch headers on my car, then I'm sorry I can't talk to you about the subject matter. No offense, not saying it to be a dick, just telling you my thought process. Because Senior's car picked up a shitload of torque going from inch and 7/8 to 2-inch primaries. You want to say thanks, Alex, for tuning my 19 ESS car after it was blown up by somebody else tuning it. Now you guys are starting to see that happen. I only run Ignite E90 on my GT350, no concerns. Got it. So, yeah, your car didn't make 800. Did you see that? When I was like, yeah, my car made 800. He goes, no, it made 795. I'm like, I could just add a degree and it'll make like 12 more, but I'm not stupid. But that's okay. He's back at it again this week. Who's back at what? Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy's retarded. Hey, Alex, just traded my 10R80 for a 350. So much fun. Yeah, I don't know why you pussy pounder. Smart man. 10R80s are fun for a little bit until you start making real power. And bring your wood screws. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have not installed 2-inch headers from inch and 7/8 to see the difference. So Rami has, RPM has, Greg has, Senior has. That's the only reason I go, well, if it requires it, cool. I have seen zero gain from inch and 7/8 to 2-inch header primaries on a Coyote at all. Or a Coyote variant. Meaning Voodoo, Predator, blah, 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 blah. Who do you like? Asking for a friend. Well, you got to understand. No one in the Mustang community actually knows what the fuck they're talking about. And this is why I say this. They repeat what their tuners and parts suppliers tell them. You understand? Every Mustang YouTuber can only tell you their driving impression of the car. Absolutely none of them can tell you what parts are best for your vehicle. How to build an 8-second this, how to build a 9, best mods for, you have no fucking idea. You don't tune them, you don't build them, you don't wrench them, you have not been in the game long enough. You just regurgitate what your sponsors and people that give you stuff or tune you tell you. Plain simple. Bigger headers kill low-end torque. Yeah, we know that. But sometimes if you're making 1,000 torque, it doesn't matter. Yeah, no collab. So talking about the collab, John Doc reached out to me not too long ago. And, that's one of those channels that I actually do watch because the guy races and has fast shit. And he is not a typical YouTuber. He seems to be a racer that just happens to do YouTube stuff. And we talked a little bit, and we've been in contact. We follow each other for a little bit, but we've never really linked up. And I think next year I'd like to link up with people that are legitimate racers to maybe give them some knowledge on Coyote stuff and whatever I can help with. And they can give me a hint as to chassis guys, setup, methanol, basically do a mutually beneficial situation. Because when you cross-pollinate people like that are not full of shit and they're generally good people and they're not trying to bullshit you into buying their product or anything like that, I think it works out. So I'd like to do some collabs and stuff. You won't catch me fucking dead fucking with Speed Phenom, Street Speed, Cletus, It's Just a Six, Mustang Lifestyles, Xander, Racer X, none of those guys. Why? Because I don't think they can teach me anything. I don't think they can teach. Nothing negative against those guys. I don't think they can teach me a goddamn thing. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think I'm gonna get John Dock on. I'm gonna get a guy on to interview, and I lined it up for early December, which is probably pretty soon. A guy you probably would never think I would end up interviewing on this channel, knowing my history. And when you see him on, I think you're gonna be genuinely surprised at how fucking in the pocket he is. He's in the pocket. He's super chill. He's a bro, but you wouldn't think so based on what he does for a living. Yeah, almost 2 years and 4 months. Is there a new emoji for 24 months and up? Maybe a Dark Horse logo? Very good. Let's do that. Let's do anything over a year and a half, right? So after a year, you get a pregnant man emoji. After a year and a half, you'll get a Dark Horse logo. So I'll put that up after the show's over. TRD Ricky says Cletus got a 911, and my God, the poor car, I did a lot of launches like legit abusing it. Well, that's what he does. That's his shtick. He is like a cross between Cletus and, he's like a goofy Whistling Diesel that races. Whistling Diesel just wants to tear shit up and doesn't give a fuck. And he loves being hated. And that, I think, is the biggest difference between Whistling Diesel. I actually watched Whistling Diesel stuff, and I learned stuff from the kid. But Whistling Diesel seems to lean into the hate. He leans into it. If a fire department tells him to fuck off, he'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to buy a fire truck and fuck you and call you guys out on your bullshit. Anyone says that it's daddy's money, he'll literally take out a suitcase of money and start doing dumb shit. And I'm like, he leans into the hate. I have a sneaking suspicion that homeboy doesn't like being hated on. Like, I think it generally hurts him to be hated on, which I'm not looking to hate him. His fans are gay as fuck, though. Like, you guys are all fucking gays, but fucking homos, every single one of you. Jared sprinkles Freedom Dirt in DMG cookies. Yes, the 350 is a solid car, but that ZR1 is looking good. I love that ZR1. But guys, after driving the 795 horsepower white GT home, the ZR1 feels so fucking slow. Guys, I did a 2.3 on the fucking highway with the white car. It was like, it felt like the red car used to feel. The red car had this weird squat and go attitude, and this car brought it back, and I went, sheesh. So I can't wait to get a fuel system in it and do grippy 60 to 130 stuff, or even go to a track and see if I can bust off a 9 with it. I'm sure I can. 18 months, Dark Horse, 24 months, Jim Farley hair, nice. Dark Horse, good idea. Oh God, I can't stand Whistling Diesel. I understand, but he is not, okay. So part of my issue with a lot of these YouTubers out there, not just the bigger ones, but even the regular ones, the mid pack, the 75 to 190,000 viewer or subscriber ones, they're not real. Right? They're not real. They're not giving you real talk. They're not giving you real anything. They don't care about the EPA stuff. They don't have a skin in the game, because they'll just go out in there and buy a Tesla and then rep that stuff if the EPA makes anything illegal. No one is really about that life. No one can tell you Fox body stuff, because I grew up with that stuff. No one can really give you that realness of a guy who lives that Mustang life, not name their channel Mustang Lifestyle and only have had a Cobra and a GT500 and say you're all of a sudden encompassing all Mustang stuff. Zero One, no me gusta. Winston Diesel looks like a Sid from Toy Story. Yeah, I never watched Toy Story. He's not a racer, but what about the guy from Vice Grip Garage? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick. I literally don't know who that is because I don't watch a lot of car YouTubers because they're mostly gay. 9 second, think the axle will say bye-bye? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I will not go to a drag strip unless the white car has DSS or G-force axles and a drive shaft because that car is literally axles and a drive shaft away from me attempting to go 9s in it and a fuel system. What do you say here? White car adding a degree. Why didn't you just send something else? So Jared, because you're a homo, right? I don't need clout. See, I don't need clout. All I have to do is add a degree if I want to make 800. I know a dyno is just a tool, like you and your mom, your tools. So all I have to do to make 800 is add, it was 5 horsepower short. I literally can add a quarter of a degree of timing or cool the car down a little bit in denser air and it'll probably make 810. Hell, right now I could probably stick it on the dyno right now at this moment with the air density that we have right now and it'll probably make 820 because it's really nice outside. That's how it works. I don't have an ego and go, well, I'm going to make 800 because I'm not stupid. It's just a tool. So I know this thing makes 800 and then some. But people like you, for whatever reason, try to, I don't know, be right. But dude, you really go on this channel and try to fight me with all these people? Bro, you're going to lose that one 100% of the time. Be smart. Don't look stupid. Go over to Cletus' channel. Go over to anyone else's channel that you watch. And go suck their dick. Like, you really think I have to go out of my way to make 800 on that car for you? Come on, stop it. Psycho. Yeah, he's a parody account. It has to be. Heck, you could change the correction. Exactly. I could literally change the correction factor. Actually, gentlemen, hold on. Gave me a great idea. Check it out. So let me go to dyno. So we're going to do something here that's going to blow your fucking mind. Give me a while, though. Because got to fire up the computer. It's like cold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change a correction factor on my 795 horsepower pull and watch it make 800 magically without me having to rerun it. Dyno. My God. It'll be a while. There we go. Power core. So I have all the stuff on this laptop here, on the work laptop, and I'm going to do it. I think you'd really like Vice Grip Garage. Probably the most intelligent guys on YouTube and maturely entertaining. Wait, 815 behind the butthole horsepower because Turvey said lose 20 horse from the drivetrain. Yeah, Turvey said that you only lose 20 horsepower from the flywheel to the rear wheel. I thought that was great. Get out of here. Data center. Let's go to data center. We're going to change the correction factor and I'm going to email it to myself and we'll open it here. So, white car. Oh, Jesus. No, that's not it. 460, 683. Okay, that is not it. Dude, how come it didn't open the last file? It's white 19. It should say 120 millimeter. There we go. 110 millimeter. Okay. Close all but this. Okay, so why is it that ugly? Oh my goodness, who the fuck changed the color on this thing? So I'll change the color. Okay, so it says 795, 591. So let me go to edit, data, smoothing 4, smoothing 1. Oh, perfect. So here we go. Save as. 800 horsepower dyno. Because, you know, he said it didn't make 800. So I'm going to change the correction factor. So I'm going to email it to myself. Compose. You guys are going to wait with me because I got nothing else to do but just to fuck around with this guy. Okay, 50 Alex. Boom, boom. Okay. So let's go to Gmail because he said it didn't make 800. I can magically make it make 800 without even stepping on the dyno. Like, imagine that. Imagine that shit. Okay. Here we go. All right, guys. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for 800 horsepower? Boom. 802 horsepower, 594 torque, SAE smoothing 1. You lose because you said it didn't make 800. So there you go. It made 800. You stupid ass son of a bitch. Dude, I know. Come on, Alex Kennison. How dare you? Not surprising, but crazy how 7,000 will get you. 7,000 will get you 800 horsepower. CJ Kids will swing in the air, but he's boosted. Smoothing is just equaling out the peaks of power. Turvey feels like a genius right now because of Jared. I'm gonna start calling you Richard because this is. Oh yeah, I am Richard Petty. You think my car didn't make 800? There you go. It made 800. Now what? Now what? Oh well, you had to manipulate the dyno. Oh, interesting. The Luntos, Turvey can stick weld upside down. Jesus Christ, what is happening here? Like John Dock, he's pretty cool, aka Salty John. 814 when you switch to standard correction factor. Exactly. But I did just the smoothing. SAE just did the smoothing. Jared's sitting on his thumb right now. Exactly. See, that's the thing. A lot of people out there don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And you understand, 90% of the people that are critical about shows like this don't even have a fast car. Like, I can guarantee you that kid Jared, Toledo, probably has a Chevy Corsica, a Lumina, a 89 Cavalier, like a Grand Prix with a 3.8 V6. So many shops do this to people's numbers. Too many guys chasing horsepower numbers instead of caring if the car actually runs that number. Exactly. Like I could have made the GT500 had a 1,000 horsepower pull, but I pulled up short at 997 or something like that. Let me see. No. Boy, what the hell did I do? Close all but this. 668, 644. Oh, section 8. I'm so stupid. Yeah. With smoothing correction, smoothing 1, SAE, the 2650 equipped GT500 made 1,016, 867 torque. But SAE smoothing 5, 997. Could I have said, let me add another degree and get 1,000? No, I have no ego when it comes to dyno stuff. That's why when Steve Morris was told by Homeboy, let's make 2,000, he went like this. What? Come on, we're right there. He's like, you want to blow this up just to run a number on a dyno? Hey, it's just more cash for me. Oh, I also meant to ask you for putting the tuning video you did a couple of weeks ago. In another world, you could be a teacher. It was dope how you broke down concepts and explained it to them. So, look, I'm not really that smart, which actually is what blows me away about the YouTube community. I am not that smart. I am genuinely, I'm not a dumbass, but I'm not that smart. And it blows me away how easy I can explain certain things to certain people. And there are people out there that are millionaires in this game, okay? People that have made millions of dollars in this game, and they don't know fucking shit. They think they do. They talk a big game. They even convince themselves. That they know stuff. But at the end of the day, they only know what you tell them. 800 sounds about right to me. Exactly. So Jared jumps in with the did make 800. Well, Mr. Jared, where's your degree in running a dyno? We'll wait. And that's what happens with people. See, Jake was great at that. And you know, that is the first time I started understanding that you don't have to fuck with it. Oh my God. Stop. Man, get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. Well, bro, I mean, seriously? An 88 Z28? Do you have a Marlboro rolled up in your white t-shirt, you dumb motherfucker? Are you wearing a Van Halen t-shirt? Right? Nothing against Van Halen. Are you wearing a Poison t-shirt right now, motherfucker? You know... I think I found a picture of him. Let me see. Where is he? Yeah, here he is. Here's the guy right here. Holy shit. This is the... Oh no, what the fuck happened? Why did it do that? Why did it take me there? Yeah, this is the guy. The final boss of the internet. Yeah, this is him. This is him with his 88 Z28 and a 200 shot with a T5. We know he's a fucking troll. We all know he's a fucking troll. But this is what he looks like right now. He has a guitar, a skullet, hairy as fuck, and he has Marlboros rolled up in his white t-shirt. Stop it. Stop it with your bullshit. Ain't no way. Barbed wire tattoo. Poison. Exactly. He typed it out. Read it over and hit send. World-class T5. Those transmissions are trash in any form. Ask me how I know. He's a troll, guys. There's no way anybody in their right mind wrote down T5 as a flex. Could you imagine? Jared's helmet must be loose. Kai Kelly in the house. Fuck. But I'll never forget. Like every once in a while, I never watch a whole episode because I can't. Again, no prep kings, I can't watch either. And those guys are legit racers. 5 second in the quarter mile type motherfuckers. I can't watch that shit. I just can't watch that shit. But every single time I see Kai Kelly, I go, he's the one that got mad at me because I made a satirical joke about a mislabeled post on one of his race posters where he said, I think his car is called the Aftershock. Well, the problem was someone replaced the S or the R with a C, and it was like Aftershock. And it was like on a flyer. And I was like, well, should I make fun of this? And I made fun of it. And he went in on the post and was like, yeah, you just talking shit from... I'm like, dude, it's a fucking joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. Relax. Odds on how many domestic violence charges Jared has. Jared has that number 2 on his neck. Don't start, Turvy. What did Turvy say? My V6 has... Stop. Just look. Turvy is stick welding his cage. Well, you know, I really don't want to take a picture of the welds because the hammer that I'm using is dimpling my welds. I'm like, hammer? How many T5s will he go through before he sells the car? He said 200 shot. The fact that he mentioned T-tops proves he's joking and is trolling. Jared must have a I Love Mom tattoo that is upside down. Turviate Racing is the Ben Calamer of T5 trans builder. The green RCSB says, I have a T5 behind an LS and my Fairmont never dump the clutch. By the way, I did take video of my welds. Send that to me. Please. I need that right now, Turviate. Send it to me as an unlisted link. We can premiere it on this channel. Type of guy to go to Cars and Coffee with that car, park it, stare at everyone who looks at it until they ask about it. Grant Winburn, there's a guy at the local Cars and Coffee here in West Palm Beach who has a white Mustang convertible. And I could swear he has stickers that say 800 horsepower. Like, I could swear he has stickers on the door that say 800 horsepower. And then you look at the hood, and he has a stock upper and lower plenum. He has a 80 millimeter MAF housing. I see nothing on the car that would warrant 300 horsepower, let alone 800 horsepower. But he has white tube socks up to his knees, New Balances. He probably weighs 600 pounds. Seems like a nice guy. I almost want to ask him about the car and just let him talk and not say anything, not make fun of him, not ask any leading questions, because the car is an obvious piece of junk. Turvy doesn't wear welding helmet, world premiere. I have to see these welds. I bet it's all worth it, Turvy. Alex, we need Titanic music played over the Turvy weld video. It might get copyrighted. Where did all the Cletus fanboys come from? It's like peasant chat. No, I think there's like 3 who genuinely dislike the fact that I talk shit about the fans. Look, you will not learn anything on that channel. The fans stand in line in blistering heat to wear a straw hat and pit vipers. I would be laughing my way to the bank if I was able to convince people that you need to buy this stuff. If I somehow was able to provide shirts of the dumbest shit, the dumbest sayings, act like a retard and have people buy merch off of that and become a millionaire, I would probably do it if I didn't actually like living with myself. Like, I don't know, I'm like a nice guy and I don't like fucking people and I like real people. Like the real person. I want to know the real you, how you talk, and I want to make sure that the way you talk to me is the way you talk to everybody. And if that's not how you are, then I can't fuck with you. Rick Garcia says, can I get the cookies, please? All right, Rick Garcia, did you get the cookies? I guess they're giving away cookies. I don't know how many. I haven't really seen it. Maybe they're hidden in the chat. But Rick Garcia, get you some cookies. Melissa and EPA, give Rick Garcia some cookies. Ricky Garcia, hit up DoMyGodCookies.com or DoMyGodCookies_LLC. Get you some cookies. They're the best cookies around. We have coffee too. That's right. Are you giving away a coffee and a cookie or just a cookie? Let me know. Whatever he wants, cookies or coffee, let him know whatever he wants. Alex, you're spot on. Right, Cletus fans. Oh, you mean Cletus stands? Got it. He's currently selling hat glasses combo during the giveaway on the Hammered On truck. Don't be turvy. You should be a shirt. Exactly. So, and that's the thing. I'm one of those guys that I highly valued. Come on, Alex, pay attention. Room when I pay for a chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Melissa, I'm sorry. I missed it. So let me know again and again and again because this chat moves super fast. So anyway, I value authenticity above anything and everything. I want to make sure that if I'm going to talk to you and have a friendship with you, that you're not some cuck bitch who is being fake one day. Like, who's the real you? Like, when you see me at a track, or something, that's me. That's 100% me, right? This is how I talk. There was a guy at CVS today that recognized me. I went to CVS to pick up some candy right before the chat because I'm a candy psycho. And I was like, all right, I need some mints or something. And he's like, yo, what's up, man? Is that a Pro Charger? I go, Pro Charger fucking sucks. And he laughed. He goes, oh, yeah, you're that guy. I go, yeah, what's up, man? Now it's got an ESS kit, G3X, the loud gears. And he's like, oh, I love your stuff, blah, blah, blah. We were good. So he must have been like, damn, he's the same online than he is in person. I could not imagine if I was like this and then super standoffish in person. Like, let's say I'm super outgoing here, this and this and that. And then in person, I'm like super standoffish and kind of a dick. I don't like that. I like genuine people. 800 horsepower on one Ford release. Would you put a Cobra Jet on a 350? It's out. Harkert. There's a guy who put a GT 350 who put a CJ on a GT350 and it had so much fucking top end. It wasn't even funny. 2 giveaways, cookies or coffee. All right, we got one more giveaway before we leave today. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate you. I must have missed something. Is Turvy making a cage for the car that doesn't run? Correct. My paycheck got skipped too. It's okay, Melissa. Omar Garza, stop it. I like you. I've met you. I've shaken your hand. You're a good guy, so I'm sorry if I missed your chat. And A11CS gave me $10. Thank you so much. Okay, so coffee. Got it. So we're giving away. We already give the cookie away, guys. Now the coffee is the giveaway. So if you guys want some coffee, say something stupid or funny, and I'll get you a coffee of your choosing. I need to try this coffee. The cookies are great. The coffee's legit. They had I think a medium Colombian something. It was fucking badass. Like, I don't like super strong coffee. I'm not one of those guys that likes espresso. I like a softer kind of taste on, a softer kind of coffee. Sent you an IG video of Turvy welding. Let's go check it out because you guys seem to communicate big time on Instagram. Again, guys, Twitter is the place. If you want to have a conversation with me, I am able to be reached on at Twitter because Twitter to me could be the future of something big if everything gets worked out, because they're talking about monetizing a lot of the stuff, giving creators the tools for content and money. So I'm going to do most of my talking with the fans on Twitter. Instagram is too messy. Instagram just has too much shit going on. Right now, I don't even got your messages on Instagram. I got a message from some guy named Brian. Yeah, that's it. But again, Instagram fucking sucks. It just doesn't update properly. It only updates on the phone. And goddamn it, now I got to go on the fucking phone, open the app, go through the requests. Request, hit all requests, and there's 1,000 requests there. Holy shit, guys. Oh my god. Yeah, no, too many fucking requests. Yeah, I don't even know who you are, bro. Sorry. I got like 80 requests, dude. Sorry. Turvy Welding Upside Down. Again, do I gotta get a Twitter again? There was so much porn on it, I had to delete it. Jared Wells. This is the funny thing about Twitter. It gives you what you like. So if you had a lot of porn in your timeline, that's because you like porn. I'll show you my Twitter feed. Check out my Twitter feed. I guarantee there is no porn, zero porn, zero prawn on that shit. So check out my Twitter feed, right? Here we go. NBA on TNT. This guy having a heart attack live on TV. Herschel Walker. Acme Catalog. I don't know. She died. Texas talking about the border. iRacing, some Cobra dude. The Orion is not, sorry. Is it Orion? The space capsule? Oh, sorry. Artemis, not Orion. I'm so stupid. Artemis. More space stuff. Matt Taibbi releasing some stuff. Ford. So guys, there is no porn on my Twitter. The only way you actually find porn on Twitter is if you search for porn on Twitter. Putting me on blast. It's the truth. There is no porn unless you start clicking on porn. It's the algorithm that recommends what you watch. Your words expose yourself. That's the faithful black man's Twitter feed. Alex, what's the cheapest boost route? 10 or 80? Thinking about just going boost instead of max out for N8. Hey, Incognito Films, honestly, forget the cheap stuff. I would go for what is going to be the best for you. And if you have an automatic Mustang and you're going to drag race it, I would get a TVS first, then a Whipple if you really want the looks of a Whipple. If you're primarily a roll racer, I would steer you towards ESS stuff if you have a Gen 2. If you have a Gen 1, Vortec or Paxton. If you have a Gen 1, Vortec or Paxton. Stay away from ProCharger like the fucking plague. Gen 2 and Gen 3, get an ESS kit. If you're a roll racer, if you're a drag racer, get yourself a TVS and a converter and never look back. I gotta have that dark stuff. I work overnights as an aircraft maintenance supervisor, and these nights are long at times. Twitter, twatter. Joined Twitter recently, way better than expected. Follow you and Elon, only good stuff. When you come into Houston, March, I am never coming to Houston for anything but maybe an interview with Mexico Racing League. Nothing else. There is no reason to come to Houston. I'm not going to go racing. I'm not going to go to Texas 2K. There's generally nothing there for me to do and support. I saw that ModNats is moving to Bradenton, which is very smart. Some of the best tracks, the best weather around that time of year. So nice to see that ModNats and Justin Young moved their stuff over to Bradenton. I guess he caught some flack from some guys in fucking Michigan or North Carolina that are mad that it's not a little higher up or kept in Georgia. Georgia wasn't happening anymore. It's over. It's just sorry. It's not happening anymore. And when look, Miami guys don't go racing in Georgia. There are so many fast Miami cars here, and they don't go to Georgia to race. They barely went to West Palm Beach. But if you bring an event to Bradenton, they might show up. There's a lot of fast modular grudge cars, a lot of fast modular cars. If they had it, Justin Young, I know I'm going to sound like a fucking homo. I hate even saying this. But if you had roll racing in Bradenton, you're going to have a lot of Miami guys show up. A lot of Miami guys show up. What's Nick saying? What's Nick saying? Nick, only time. I don't think we NA boys need any more cookies, to be honest. Exactly. Same for manual cars. Yes. If you're drag racing, TVS. If you're roll racing, a Paxton or a Vortec Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, ESS. Trustworthy, I wouldn't make more than 2-3 PSI if I did make boost ram intake stops. Shut up, bro. Show me those fucking shitty welds. My Twitter algorithm recommends Don't My God Cookies. Can I get the coffee? It did that because I shouted them out because she's going through a cut right now. And if you guys understand how difficult it is to cut, it is ridiculously difficult. It sucks. Your husband and kids have to be on the same program because if they start eating fucking cookies and munching on shit, it'd be a problem. So I said, why don't you guys order a shitload of cookies just to make her cut a little more difficult? Some of us are desperate for cookies. Then buy some, bro. Donk Knight of Bradenton, you say Cletus is gay, yet he's got NASCAR drivers coming to him, which proves he's gay. Like, thank you for making my point for me. I appreciate it. Next thing you're going to tell me he's going to have monster truck drivers repping his shit. No, don't plague us with gnats. With second shift racing, it doesn't matter what you think. It matters what puts asses in seats. And if he made it Thursday, Friday, roll racing, and then late Friday, Saturday, qualifying for drag racing, similar to Texas 2K, he'll make money. It's all about making money. Ricky Garcia says, can you please let Melissa know I messaged her? Please. Technically, I won't cut till like March, LOL. You must not know what Alex thinks of NASCAR drivers. Exactly. He's saying that's like a positive. No offense. No offense. NASCAR's fine. But most of those guys are fucking homos, right? You saw what happened with homeboy, Bubba, and you saw what happened with the guy who said the N-word, left, then come back to dominate. I'm just like, that whole scene is whack shit. You can keep that shit. I got 2 cookies placed, says Diego A. Nice. I'm cutting, says Ked. Just check out those cookies. I've never tried them, but from the looks, I need to. Did you see how bad Matt 760 got gapped by a heads cam A10 Camaro? No, but let's be honest. If you have a 6-liter LT 10R80 car, big stupid cam, Billy Badass heads, an exotic fuel, and really light, yeah, that's normal. That it's just a bigger motor and a similarly equipped transmission. Actually, Camaros have a better version of the 10R80 than Mustangs do. So it should have happened. Cutting is hard for you. I find it harder to eat, especially when I have to get protein in. Yeah, cutting is difficult as fuck for me. I went from 245 to 225. I'm currently sitting at 222, 223, and I don't know how I'm going to get to 215 to 210 unless I literally starve myself. NASCAR going to have a bunch of wall riders, right? Alex, I know off topic, how much is the Ghost Cam tune? We don't charge for the Ghost Cam TTR for this reason. The Ghost Cam tune is intended for novelty only. What does that mean? That means that you're only supposed to flash that tune when you want to chippity chop in and out of cars and coffee. But a lot of people buy the Lund Racing tune and think that they're paying for a Ghost Cam. There is no payment structure for Ghost Cam option. You buy a tune and you can say include the Ghost Cam. But when you buy a tune from Lund Racing, you're getting a performance tune first and a Ghost Cam tune after as an add-on. So if you were to say, hey, it doesn't chop right, okay, it's free. Hey, it shuts off, okay, it's free. Hey, this and this and that, okay, it's free. Now, some F-150 guys are able to get the Ghost Cam tune. And if it's a multi-tune, meaning if you have a Lund Racing N-Gauge and you opt in for the PCM Tech multi-tune where you can turn the Ghost Cam on and off on the fly, I think Junior is more than likely willing to work with you because you've paid an extra amount of money to make everything work as seamless as possible. So if you have an F-150 and multi-tune or a Mustang with a Lund Racing N-Gauge and multi-tune, you can have something like that work out for you. Okay, me stupid, but what's a power bottom? See, I think your father was one. You know what I mean? Truviate? I think your father was one. Guaranteed. I think Alex hit the wall already. Cuban Coyote, what's up, brother? I thought you B58. Cuban B58. Come on, Alex. What is the right size for Gen 2? So it would be 293 octane tunes, one with ghost cam, one without. Exactly. I want some coffee. While you're at it, why don't you give your Fox body away like all the other YouTubers? Hey, Aaron Rucker, get some coffee. Melissa, give Aaron Rucker the coffee that you have left, please. Aaron Rucker, hit up DoMyGodCookies _LLC on Instagram or domygodcookies.com. Get you some coffee. I highly recommend the medium roast Colombian. It's really good, so you should be good to go. Ghost Cam Tune on a Tesla. Turvy Power Bottom is a mod for a long block. Ask your mechanics. He said, which dad? Alex, have you ever looked at the time it takes you to shift in the 19? I was looking at some logs last night, and I think I suck at manual. I can look. I can do what I want to do, honestly, eventually with the white 19, because I love that car. I'd love to, thank you, Melissa. I'd love to do like a simulated drag pass on the street with the draggy with grip. Like I need like similar wheel tire combo that was in the red car. I should have kept that motherfucker, but the fronts are Brembo, so it needs 18s in the front. Bias ply, and then see if I can get into the mid 10s on the street and see how fast my shifts are. Because you can see in seconds the time the RPM start to dip and the time the RPM start to come back up. And in that dip tells you how quick you can shift. Eric W., yes, the like to watch ratio is very good. Melissa, the YDBT code still active. I think it is Cuban, B58 or S55 just got an M2C. What is happening? Cuban on his 5th BMW tuner. Oh no, is he having that issue too? Is it like that in other communities where all these tuners are whack shit? Because look, Lund is top dog on Mustang stuff. Sorry, I work for them. I get it. But guys, I've personally been tuned by 4 Coyote tuners, and the Lund stuff was better when I was a civilian. Michael Mara, he was calling out me out months ago on my Catless E85 only 10R80. I wish my BMW World had a Lund. That's what I hear a lot about the Camaro. No, not Camaro World. The Charger and Challenger World. I wish there was a Lund version. I'm like, look. We would need to have access to like A2L files and C files and learn a completely new platform and really get after it with the backdoor stuff. Hey, yo. But there's no meat on that bone. There's just no meat on that bone. Sorry, video on the does a catback make a difference? Would you still see that same improvement on an NA setup? No, not at all. Did it like on the TV, phone, and the tablet. It says BD. Should have had an MTD2 misbend gears. Ben Calimer setup would have been nice. Lund shows and proves. Joe Mama says, I died laughing when Cletus put the F-150 in the dyno and then admitted that Coyotes are better than LS. Sent the clip to my LS buddies. Could you imagine the LS crowd hearing Garrett Mitchell, a.k.a. Cletus, say, well, if you were trying to put... you can't make this power on an LS if not the oil starts flying out of the catch cans. And I'm like, we all knew this. Even Gen 1 Coyotes can make 1,000 if the rods would hold up. But Gen 2 Coyotes can make 1,000. Gen 3 Coyotes can make 1,000. No mods except boost, fuel. That's it. So the LS guys out there that, look, the argument is null and void. The Coyote is a better motor, period. Now, when you start seeing better gains within the LS world is when you start piecemealing shit. Well, what about NA? Oh, okay. Well, Rollins fucked with a Coyote and went max effort, made over 600 wheel through a 10R80 NA. But it's a 5-liter. It's smaller displacement. I mean, you guys have the advantage of displacement. And the cam in block design where you can have torque. But a lot of people, when it comes to modifications, boost is king. And once you made 8, 9, 1,000 horsepower on a Coyote with just boost and fuel, the argument goes to bed whether Coyote is better than LS. Alex, a Paxton 2200 on S197 car occasionally doesn't come to a stop. Neutral. Scent lock tuner showing issue. States tune is perfect. Nothing to do. Suggestion if you ran into this issue. Hector Torres, is it a Lund tune? Valley still haven't turned on his car. Holy shit. It takes LS guys a few years to comprehend stuff. Alex, do you have to have all 4 twos for short-term fuel trims to trim? Yes. On some Coyote applications, if the rear O2s are not installed, the fuel trims go flat at wide open throttle. Alex, do you why my car's idle would surge up and down at random at times, almost sounding like a ghost cam when it happens? Gen 3 on E85, go look up my cam reversion video on this channel, and it shows a possible cause to that issue. Owners laugh at Coyote people slowly because they can't chop like an LS, and I get that. LS owners chop at a Coyote because it can't chop like an LS, and I get that. But look at my white car, 795 horsepower, boost, stock fuel pump, stock fuel rail. It literally only has headers, boost, injectors, and a boosted pump. Race gas, 795. I came from a nitrous LS1 to a Coyote, would never go back. Way better in every aspect. Sent an email for the Cookie Winner comments. Thank you, JD Swag. He is really the fucking MVP, bro. Alex, with an Engage multi-tune Gen 2 control pack. No. How are you going to control the multi-tune? How? Exactly. You need to make it like stock. It's not going to work on a Coyote swap unless the CAN bus picks up the steering wheel controls, and that's how it works. And I don't think it'll work on a swap. I'm sorry. I just don't think it'll work on a swap. Have you ever had Toyo R8s on any of your cars? Yes, my white car. And they're not as good as Nitto G2s. They are not as good as Nitto G2s. They're louder. They don't grip as good. They're better at turning. Yes, but my car wasn't primarily a turning car. But the Nitto 555 G2s or R2s or whatever, in my experience, are better in my vehicle than the R888s were. Got my cookies from Melissa. Thank you, Alex. You got a Ricky Garcia intake cam and phaser issue. Exactly. The difference in your white car compared to a Gen 2 6-speed isn't Gen 2 King Daddy. Gen 2 is King Daddy if you want to race. The Gen 3 will make more power mod for mod. But the DI is my issue with the fucking Gen 3. And the 10R80 sucks and the MT82 generally sucks. Gen 2, you have the 6R80. And the 6R80 is king if you want to build a race car. But mod for mod, Gen 3 makes way more power. Oh my God, the Parts Farm. Do you have a discount code set up on your website for customers? Hey, do YDBT at checkout and get a discount at the Parts Farm. Dropping a like, gonna catch a replay. FKLA. Wow. Yesterday's $7.95 is not today's $800. Thank you, Parts Farm. Thank you so much for the massive donation. You really don't have to do that. I mean, you guys, he gave me such a fucking deal on the notch that I almost feel bad even. I've never told you how much I paid for it. He gave me a ridiculous deal, and I try to do right by him and that company because he hooked me up with that car, and that car has been a godsend. It just fulfills every little tinkering need I have. The carburetor right now is at AED carburetors getting rebuilt. I know the general consensus surrounding MMR, but they make really good power on max effort NA build. Okay, that's fine. What is the trigger to change the tunes on a multi-tune without it flashing? The CAN bus controls of the cruise control buttons. And I'm not going to tell you what's happening in the background. You have to talk to PCM Tech about that. Yeah, I have a horn button. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, exactly. Why did? Oh, look at that. There is a discount code on the Parts Farm. Hey, guys, if you go to the Parts Farm, according to the Parts Farm and Rob at thepartsfarm.com, go to the website, order wheels, tires, headers, exhaust, bumpers, engines, transmissions, and there's a discount code if you hit hashtag YDBT. I didn't know that. Thank you so much, the Parts Farm, for giving our fans a discount on parts that have to do with Mustang stuff on this channel. Love that shit. Yes, the Toyo sounds like a lifting truck on mud tires. I don't know how long I'm going to keep them on. Those extra 5 horsepower is important. 5 degrees colder, you got it. Well, you spend so much time out of your life to provide us the knowledge. At least someone can do it. I appreciate that. Look, obviously this pays me really well. I do really well here. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. But I'd like to think that I provide you guys stuff that you don't see anywhere else. You know, like ESS stuff, GT500 stuff, ZR1 stuff. Nobody's building a ZR1 from a ground up like I am. Me and Rami are talking about meth to get rid of the race gas stuff and headers to see how much of a difference that makes, if anything. And I'm going to get Corsa gaze just to sound really fucking loud. Then after that, I'm going to port the blower, send the blower to Greg to do a complete export on that motherfucker. Then I'm going to have to upgrade the injectors. I'm going to probably talk to Justin White, get some pointers from him, because I have no ego in this. I want to make sure the car makes good power, but is safe. And I'm doing that at a slight loss, meaning the cars that I have and the stuff that I'm giving you, every dime I get from this channel, I repeat, every dime I get from this channel every month on AdSense goes right back into the vehicles, into content, into cameras, into just, look, I've upgraded these cameras just because you guys, it might not seem like much, but little things like this. The ZV-1 has been a fucking godsend. The GoPros, I have a bunch of GoPros, every single little thing. And I have a brand new computer. I have a bunch of stuff based on what you guys provide the channel. And I feel like I owe you so much because you guys have been super generous in giving me the opportunity to own these vehicles. So I'm going to do my best to get you guys the most content possible. ZR1 stuff, GT500 stuff really soon. I'm going to put the Whipple back on, lower the boost, and we'll see what kind of gains we make with a lot less boost. That'll be good for data, good for content, good for the people out there wanting to see data-driven content. And I think this channel is probably the only channel on the internet that gives you similar stuff. There's other engine dyno channels like Engine Masters and that LS guy that do a killer job. But being a one-man show, I think I do pretty good based on the stuff that you guys are able to provide and allow me to do. So I'm going to get out of here into the wigs. Yeah, exactly. I got money into the wigs, the whole 9 yards. Into the smoke machine. Yeah, the smoke machine. Change the oil and it will go away. Okay, thanks, Parts Farm. Just use the code YDBT at checkout. Corvette content. We'll definitely be viewing those videos. Can't wait. Matt Oliver, go to my channel right now. I got ZR1 content out right now, and I definitely need to do that. Next year is the year that I got to get a business going, an actual business license. Start writing off some stuff. Do it the right way, because every year I owe like $20,000 in taxes, and I got to pay that fucker off every fucking year based on how much money this channel earns. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out. We talked about who do you trust in the industry to get you some kind of coyote content or advice. And a lot of you get it from either this channel or your tuner. Typically, people that are trying to sell you parts are just doing that. They're trying to sell you parts. So it's hard to take their words honestly. This channel is amazing, says Donnie DeVille. Thanks for everything. Thank you for everything. You guys make it possible. Okay, stay in touch. Keep watching. I'm going to do the Whipple reversion back to the GT500. I'm going to go back to a 3.75 pulley, do hits on the street, see if we can get into the threes, put it on the dyno, get some data, and get you guys some content. Have a good rest of your night. I'll see you guys probably Thursday or Friday with a live and maybe a video on Saturday, because that's really the only day I can video stuff, because it gets dark at 5:30 already here in Florida. All right, guys, have a good rest of your night.